Well, hello, my name is Diana Avenatti, and I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for about 3 years. I have been stamping and buying Stampin' Up! Products a little over 4 years, but I retired 3.5 years ago, and I really enjoy crafting, scrapbooking, and making cards. And today I just want to share with you what I have done with some designer series paper. So Stampin' Up! Does have designer series paper, and I happened to buy the Daisy suite, and there is 12 pieces of paper, and they're 12 by 12, and you get 2 pieces of 6 different prints, and both sides, one side has a print of a daisy of some sort with a variety of different colors, and then on the back there is a solid kind of semi-solid, it looks like a brush stroke on the back. And so when I saw this paper, I had to have it, but I knew I already had so much paper, and so my thought was I really needed to challenge myself to use the paper. And I'm very proud to say I was able to use at least half of it. I used 1 sheet of each of the prints, and I was able to make 39 cards. And so I thought I would share with you exactly what I did. I'm not leaving a lot of information about like sizes or dimensions. All of the cards though are the A2 size cards. So it's the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but different folds are on different sides, whether it's on the 4 1/4 side or the 5 1/2 side. They're all the A2 card. And so anyway, but I've just had so much fun creating these cards, and so I will share with you each sheet of paper how many cards I was able to make. And then I did also throw in like some labels, but I know everybody has their own labels you can use. I also did share with you what I did with the daisy dies, and I mixed those up, but that was just because if you're thinking about how you might be able to use something, I'm a visual person, so it's really nice to be able to actually see some of these colors together. And of course, you know, most of us have like the black and the white, the basic colors anyway, and I love these daisies. Even just white on white is beautiful. And so anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here is the Sweet Collection, Fresh as a Daisy Sweet Collection. And so it comes with the paper, and it also comes with some of the decorative beads here. And then of course you've got your stamps, and then along with the stamps you also get the dies. And the whole collection is $73. But like I said, if you were interested in just the paper, the 12 by 12 paper, that is just $12.50. So starting with the very first one, the very first sheet, I'm going to move this out of the way, and I will bring in this first sheet of paper, which is this one here. Now, this paper I think is absolutely beautiful. What I like about it is it has kind of the big daisies, and I just felt like that made a really nice card. So you have, here's an example. So all of these cards, I'm going to move this one out of the way. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll turn it over to the back so you can see the back side, and then I'll just lay these out. These are all the cards that I was able to make with just using these this one paper. Now, this one I kind of cheated. I did, you can tell that I used the dies, and with the dies, this is the die set, and I just love them. I think they're absolutely beautiful. As a matter of fact, if you were, if anybody is thinking about buying any of this, the designer series paper, I would highly recommend these dies because you can use them over and over and over again. And the way they're imprinted, you do not even really need to stamp them. You can just use colored paper and use the dies to cut out all your variety of colors. And I love it because it comes with the twigs, a label, and of course this one here is all one piece. So I absolutely love it. And what you do is you layer them, and I can show you how I did that later. But this one goes behind, and there's one of each of these for each die, or I should say each flower. And then you've got this one here that is the third layer. And so anyway, they're absolutely adorable, and you don't have to layer them. You can use them all by themselves. You can cut them. There's just you can be so creative with all of these. But anyway, so in this set, when I took my 12 by 12 sheet of paper, what I did is I basically started, I'd do one row 4 inches, and initially my thought was I would cut it in 3 4 by 4 sections, and the 3 across, so giving me a total of potentially 9 cards for each sheet of paper. But then, like, for example, this card here, I really wanted to layer it and make this other piece kind of pop up. So as part of the layering, of course, you know, I was, instead of being able to get 9 cards out of it, I think I got 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so I got 8 cards instead of 9. But what I thought was so fun is it's just so neat to be able to try different colors with it, and then just using your own creativity. You know, how you can put little pieces on the edge. This one here I just layered. You've got the white behind the daisies, and this one opens up this way, and then of course this one here opens a different way. So they're all different, but still absolutely beautiful. I just love how many different cards you could make. This one too I thought was really pretty. I used primarily using just your circle dies. I figure everybody has either circle, rectangle, square. I have some scalloped rectangles. I also have the deckled dies and deckled edge dies. And so it was fun just kind of mixing it up and seeing what we could create. And so that was just with the first sheet of paper. So then the second thing I did is, let's say you decided, okay, I also want to add labels. Well, I have a bunch of labels, and now hopefully, you know, everybody that's a stamper already has their own labels, and then you can just kind of go through and figure out, you know, exactly how is it that you want to put your labels on each card. And so I have a variety of different ones that I created, and it was just a lot of fun to go through and create labels. And now I have a bunch of different fonts and thank you. You made my day. This is not really the right color, but I'll use that on a different one. Oh, here's one in kind of the yellow. And so I'd probably use it on something like that one there. And thank you in the black. And of course, you can be creative and use any of your own labels that you have. I also have, you know, of course, I have some happy birthday. Every stamper must have a happy birthday stamp. And so, and this one here, this is part of the stamp set. You've got Cheerful Daisies and Oops, a Daisy. It's just so cute. So sorry. You made my day, wishing you the best birthday, and your friendship means everything. So anyway, my hope is to just find some really cute happy birthday. And again, you can just find whatever works best for you, and just put your labels in a variety of different spots, and you pretty much have your cards that are done, or at least the faces of your cards. So I hope that I have inspired you to think about how to use your designer series paper and make a lot of beautiful cards. Okay, so here is sheet number 2, and this sheet here is, I think, probably my favorite. I absolutely love the pink and the white daisies here. And so This is a set that, in addition to finding labels that will work for you, and again, just using what you already have. You don't have to buy any new labels. Most of us that are card makers already have, but I just think these are just absolutely adorable. You can use, and I just wanted to show you, it doesn't matter what color. So even if you don't have ink that necessarily, if you don't own any of the Stampin' Up! Products, it doesn't matter. Black stands out and is really pretty on this as well. Black is always my go-to color if I don't have something that matches just perfectly. But just wanted to share with you, this is, these are some of the daisies that I had already cut out. So just for the fun of it, I'll, again, I think what I'll do is I'll turn this over so that you can see the back side of the daisy paper while I share with you the cards that I made. So this one just opens this way. You could do it this way, but there's this one, and then we have this one here. And what I tried to do is, after I made each of the daisies, I just kind of laid them on top of each one that I thought went really well together. And I have these here, and then this one, and this one, and again, this one here. I also used the small daisies. This one I actually did use the stamps. So in addition to the stamps, I went ahead and cut them out, and then I did color them. So I'm kind of cheating. I probably shouldn't even share those, because if you don't get the stamps, the stamp set, and my hope was really just to inspire people to use the paper. But if you did want to get anything, again, you know, the dies are beautiful. Just if you're interested in seeing how many cards, beautiful cards you can make at the best possible price point. So anyway, so these here, and then we have this one, and this I thought was, again, because the daisy itself is so large, I think it makes a great centerpiece. So I went ahead and just cut this out, and then I made a circle just slightly larger, and then I was able to layer it, and then you don't even see that that daisy is actually missing from this sheet of paper here that we have. So again, most of these, if you look at the size of the sheet, most of them are 4 by 4, but this one here I had cut down to 3 3/4, so it's 4 and 3 3/4. And then I just put a white piece here, and my thought was that might be a really good place just to put a label. So, and again, you know, there's so many different colors. This one could be like a sympathy card, and well, I didn't make very many sympathy, plus the sympathy is quite large, but it's okay. I think you'll still get the general gist of what I was kind of thinking with this one here. But anyway, we'll go ahead and leave that blank for now. And so I didn't add any daisy that I had used the dies on this one. And again, it's just to demonstrate that the paper itself really does stand alone just beautifully. So you can see that I used the front side of the paper, or the printed side with the daisies. And then I used, in this case, you could have used the back side, but I actually did have the regular paper. We call this our in color. This is the 2023 to 2025 in colors. This is wild wheat. And I did have a sheet of that, so I did use that for the edges, but I thought it was close enough. You could use this as well. And then here's another one. So this set, and then this one here, and what I love, again, you know, just looking at all the variations of colors that we can use to create a different look in these daisies without even using ink. Just by simply using a different color sheet of paper. And so again, I think this one, we've got 2, 4, 6, 8. I actually do have 9 sheets, so I was able to get 9 cards out of this pink sheet of paper. So Again, I truly hope that you have enjoyed looking at each of these cards and just recognizing how different every card is. And I hope that it is inspiring you to just use your own creativity and figuring out how you might want to use your rectangle dies or your circle dies or even squares. Now the nice thing about squares, you don't have to have square dies. You can use your cutting machines to actually cut. So we will move on to the next sheet. Okay, so this next one that I want to share is this sheet of paper here, which I love. I love that you get a different pattern with different colors. And so what I did is I started cutting them out, and with them I was able to make these cards. So you can see I used this one, and then I just cut these into panel. Just make sure you keep them in the right order. And then I put the azure blue right underneath it. But again, you wouldn't have to, even if you just separated it and didn't have the blue behind it. But I think the blue panel adds just an awful lot of color. So we have that one, and then this one here, again, we have this sheet of paper was actually from the other set that we have, so that I shared in the first round of video. And then we have this one here, and again, this one is a square, a rectangle that's cut out and just popped up on top of a white piece underneath. And the nice thing is, you know, I'm not even going to worry so much about the sizes, because whatever looks good to you, you may want to make this a little bit smaller. Maybe you just want your rectangle to be, you know, one or two of these, or maybe you just want to do a square, or you want your rectangle to go the other way. And so I am not providing specific dimensions, because my hope is just to kind of share with you what I did. And the next card here is the daisy, and I loved this yellow next to it, so I only used half of it, and you may have noticed I did use it on this other card here. So the other piece I went ahead and used on this. And then remember, I only had 8 of these cards. Well, that explains the 9th one is right here. So you're going to see that I did try to mix and match to get as much out of each of the papers as I could. And then these were papers that I may have used the back side of. And then I am gonna, and then when I created my daisies, I went ahead and, like this one here, I'm not quite sure I will use it, but this is something I may or may not put on my card. It just depends. This one here, too, is one that I might just pop up and use. And then for the brown one here, I thought this was kind of cool. And I did also, so I'm just kind of having fun. This one here, I actually colored this one a little bit to try to make it look as much like the one on the paper as I could. And I do have an extra stem, and I will probably just pop this up somewhere here, and using my dimensionals, probably lift this one up so it's kind of gives you a little more dimension on this particular card. And then this last card, I was thinking about just possibly doing some daisies on the side. I may not do anything at all, because I think that one is so pretty, and I really want to be careful not to over decorate. I think sometimes the paper, like I said, for me, in my opinion, the paper is so beautiful. You can really just use it as is. Don't necessarily have to do anything. But this one I might cut and just use these for the inside of the card rather than on the outside of the card. And that's kind of what I'm thinking for a lot of these. When I go to do my sentiment on the inside, I may just use one of the daisies here, or on one of the corners. So anyway, that takes care of this sheet. So I have another sheet. So we've now looked at 3 of the sheets of paper, and now we will look at the, let's see, I think that was 3. Yeah, that was 3. So this one's number 4. So sheet number 4, I love this one. I love it all. I need to quit saying that. I sound like a broken record. But anyway, I'll go ahead and I will turn this one over so you can see what the color is on the back side. And this one here, I did only get 4 cards out of it, primarily because I was trying to get as much of the daisy on the card as I could. And so I didn't use as much of the blue, so I do have some extra blue. But you could probably be more creative than I and come up with something pretty amazing. And again, you know, I've got all my little stamps, whether they're happy birthday or, yeah, so we've got happy birthday. We've got wishing you the best and the brightest. And then again, it's totally up to you and however creative you want to be. This one here, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do, but I will have fun kind of finishing up these cards. This one I thought would be really pretty. Just again, I'm kind of leaning toward raising this one just so that it kind of pops out a little bit. And then we've got this one here, which is just this one here. I might do something like this and kind of tuck this in like so. And but again, I want to be careful not, and I might get rid of some of the I might get rid of the leaves. I'm not sure that I want these blue leaves on here, but or maybe I'll put it over here on this card. But there's just so many different ways to actually put these on your card and just have fun with it. This will probably pop up and using dimensionals again, and I probably will get rid of this, but anyway, and then I have this other blue one here, which I don't know that I'm necessarily going to use it. This one I might just use on the inside, take 1 or 2 of the flowers off and use that on the inside. And then again, we have this one here, and I love this one too because I used a little bit different color of brown for the centers of these. You don't have to do that, but that is one of the benefits. If you did want to get the dies to accompany these, you may be interested in some of the colored papers as well, because it just really helps these flowers to pop. So there's these. And then finally, so we got 4 out of those. And then this next one is, this one here is this one's another one where I did get an awful lot of cards out of this one. And I went ahead and put the daisies right on top of it. How I'm going to use it, not really sure. I will take some time and just kind of look through it. This one here, again, is layered. I have one that's sticking to the back. Whoops, dropped it. Okay, so this one I wasn't as crazy. I thought it was really going to be very cute to just have the daisies kind of peeking through, maybe a window. This was a stamp set that I had already had. I wasn't as crazy about it as I thought I would be, but nonetheless, when I do add the daisies on this one, I think it's really pretty. I do think it really adds a lot And then here's this one. I had already gone through and kind of coordinated the ones that I thought would look good here, but I didn't glue them down because, again, my hope is you can see that they're just beautiful even without the daisies. And but if you thought you wanted to maybe get the daisy dies, just mixing the various different colors kind of gives you a sense for what you can do with them and what they look like once they are all put together. And some of these are sticking. And then this one here, there is a lady who I saw who she calls it a box card, and it absolutely is gorgeous. And the way she put it together was absolutely beautiful. And I enjoyed watching her do it so much. She did layers, she used multiple dies and to create a background. And then she took a card and laid it on top of here and embossed it first. And it was absolutely gorgeous. And I'll provide a link to her video. Anyway, her name is Morales, and her last name is Morales, and I'm drawing a blank right now on her first name, so I'll have to just include a link to her videos, and specifically the video where she shows you the dimensions. My dimensions are a little bit different. I did make the edge a little bit shorter on these sides, but the concept is the same. And you'll just fall in love with her cards. She does a beautiful job. And then we have this one here. This one is just kind of like a book. So I am going to glue this down. I hadn't yet, but I will. And then this color, I just thought these two went beautifully together. So again, this is the wild wheat, and then we've got the lemon lolly and the yellow. And I'm drawing a blank on the yellow. But anyway, it's not important unless you were interested in ordering any of the paper. But and then this one here I thought was fun because you've got a lot of gray in the background. And I don't know that I will use this one because I do have kind of the Moody Mob on the back, and that really isn't a color in here, and that's not giving me the the look that I was hoping for. And then finally we have another one of these cards here that looks beautiful when you put these daisies on the front. And then of course put ribbon or your sequins or whatever else that you want. So again, we got 2, 4, 6. So there's a total of 8 cards out of this paper here. And this paper, actually, you know what? I have this mixed up. It is actually this paper here. This is the paper for these cards here. So I grabbed the wrong one, but you get this, the gist. And again, if I turn this over, this has blue on the back, and these are all of the cards that you can make. And then now this is the last one. So this one here is the paper. This is the back side, and this one here, because it has the smaller print compared to the other sheets of paper, I did really like creating the box card that I learned how to make, because once it's all done, it is truly beautiful. So this is 1 and 2. And again, you know, I'm going to turn these over just so it's a little easier to see the cards. So we've got 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So there's a total of the 7 cards. And again, we've got the various different colored daisies, which I just had so much fun assembling these. We actually were on a camping trip, and while we were camping, I just cut out a whole bunch in a variety of different colors, and then I just sat and started putting them all together, and I am just thrilled with the way all of these turned out. But this one here, you know, again, I don't want to take up all your time but I just kind of wanted to, again, the intent of today's video is to just really inspire you and show you what you can do with this paper, because it truly is beautiful. And there's so many different ways you can design your cards, and so I hope that this has been very helpful and motivating. And I will now turn the camera around and say goodbye. Thank you so much for sticking with me today while I shared with you how I have used the daisy paper. And I thought of the lady's name. It's Beverly Morales. She's the one that does the beautiful box cards that I was referring to in the video. I could remember Morales, I just couldn't remember her first name. It's Beverly. So anyway, thank you again, and this is only my 3rd video, so I learning and hoping each time I will do a better job. Anyway, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and I hope you like my video. Take care.